In beekeeping, there are some things that are worth it and others that are worthless. And we're going to start a series of videos where I'm going to walk you through, we're going to talk about what's worth it and what's worthless. And today we're going to start with the inner cover. Is it worth it or is it worthless? What's up? I'm David Burns. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to take a look at things in the hive and around the bee yard and ask, are they worth it? Are they worthless? And today we're going to be looking at this inner cover and answering that question. But before we do, let me tell you that in this video, sometime in the video, I'm going to be giving away 2 of my Cowboy bee hat and veils that you like so much. So I'm going to be giving this away. I'll give you more information as we get further in the video. I'm starting a series of videos that have to do with things around the hive, equipment, and other things that we use in beekeeping. And we're going to evaluate whether they're worth it or if they're worthless. And today we're going to start with the inner cover. Now, this inner cover has been around for a long time. It has been part of beekeeping forever. And this is an inner cover that we make. It's a little bit different than you see in other inner covers. We make our inner covers with a little bit of ventilation at the top, but the bees can't pass through that. It's just enough to allow some passive ventilation. And of course, it has the porter hole for the porter bee escape in the center. These used to be used, and still are to some degree, to help get bees out of that top super by flipping it upside down like this and then putting your super on it. You can put that porter bee escape on top here, and the bees will just run down through it and they can't get back up into that super, helping you to get rid of your bees before you take the honey super off. We use other things now, like we use some butyric acid or bee robber to help get the bees out of there, or you can brush them off if you want a simpler approach. Now the question is this inner cover really worth it? So let me first tell you why some people like inner covers. Number one, the main reason, and I did talk to several beekeepers, and this is what the ones told me that do use it. They said they like it that their top cover comes off real easy. So in other words, on the hive, if you're using an inner cover like this, then your top cover is sitting against the top rail of the inner cover, and so there's no propolis up here. And so the top cover comes off very easily. And most top covers are telescoping top covers with the exception of the migratory lids. But it allows you to get rid of the top cover, take it off very easily, and then you can take your hive tool and very easily pry off this inner cover that, yes, will indeed be propolized to the box that it's sitting on top of. But you don't have to pry it up and like you do with the top cover. That's one of the reasons. The other reason that I hear from beekeepers is that in the winter, it allows some ventilation space. The top cover sits up kind of higher on the rails, and so there's a little bit of an air gap between the actual warm hive and the cold air. Those were the 2 main reasons. I heard a lot of other reasons. Some people said they use these in the bee yard. If they're on their hive, if they take a lot of boxes off their hive, they may take an inner cover to cover up a box temporarily, things like that. So there are other uses for this inner cover. Now, a lot of you have noticed that I don't use inner covers. And why not? My main reason that I don't use inner covers is mainly because it's one more piece of equipment that I have to take off the hive when I'm doing a hive inspection. If you have a lot of hive, that's a lot of work. I don't really worry about this air gap that I'm needing in the wintertime because I invented the winter bee kind that feed the bees during winter and also to provide this ventilation that we need in the wintertime through that winter bee kind. So I remove these anyway in the wintertime. In the summer, if I need a little ventilation, I just stick a quarter under the back of the top cover, and it allows that to have a little bit of ventilation back there on the hive. The other reason that people use it is the porter bee escape to help get bees out of that super. I've tried that before, and it does work. It's a coin toss for me. Half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. And number one, if you get a little brood up in the super, the bees are never leaving it. And number two, if you get a big drone that tries to go through that bee escape, and backs up just right, he's going to plug it and get stuck, and there you go. It doesn't work anymore. But I have used them successfully, but it's a coin toss. So for me, I'd rather just use some bee robber fluid or brush my bees off or blow them off with an air hose to get them out of my super when I'm ready to harvest. So for me, on the is it worth it or is it worthless meter, I'm going to say for me personally, it's about 55% worthless and 45% worth it. So it does have benefits and it does have disadvantages for me. And so again, it's going to be up to the individual beekeeper whether it's worth it or worthless. But I thought I'd do a video real quick to let you know what I think and why I don't use the inner cover. Okay, our giveaway is a little bit different today. We're going to actually be giving away 2 of the Cowboy bee hats that I wear. You see me wear these out in the bee yard quite a bit. And today I'm going to give you 2 wrapped up and smashed hats that you can fluff up when you get them yourself. And so what you're going to need to do to win one of these, it's going to be a random drawing on our part, but we're going to have you leave a comment below whether you use or don't use an inner cover. It doesn't matter one way or the other, you're still eligible to win. We're going to be picking a comment at random in our YouTube video to give away one of these. The other one, if you leave a comment in our Instagram, our beekeeping Instagram, I'll leave a link where you can go to there. If you want to leave a comment in the Instagram comment section and we choose you randomly, you will win one of these Cowboy beekeeping hat and veils. Good luck to all of you. Well, thanks so much for joining me for this beekeeping video. I really appreciate you. And don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this shorter version of some of my beekeeping videos. And the next video we're going to do, the next in the series of Is It Worth It or Worthless, is a screen bottom board. Is a solid bottom board better? Is it better for the winter? Can you leave a screen bottom board all year? Is it really worth having a screen bottom board? So be sure and click and subscribe so you'll be notified when that video comes out. Thanks so much. See you next time.